Howdy folks, we are here for more standard mono red, running the same list as previously, or at least similar list to my other videos. This is the version playing Rekindling Phoenix's main. We cut the Chandra. The Chandras are now in the sideboard. -1 Bomat Courier, -1 Shock, -1 Chandra, and then we put in the Phoenixes. That's basically the only changes to the main deck. No, that's not true. And then +1 Abrade for 1 Oncut Crusher. Something like that. And then a few little differences in the sideboard. We're running the treasure map, an extra Chandra's defeat since red decks are so popular right now. A cut over the third Fight with Fire because it doesn't seem like Lyra is super popular these days. They're still around, so you still need some Fight with Fires. And I like cut significantly more against the green decks. Just because it's 2 mana and it still deals with most of their guys. You don't really need to go all the way up to 5 damage. So, other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward mono red deck, so we'll just get right into the league matches. So here we are on play against Ryan808. Definitely gonna go first. Alright, what do we think of this hand? It's really not a great hand. You never really want to see 2 hazards, so it's not the end of the world. And it's not super fast. I think you keep it though. It's a very mediocre hand, but the removal spell is going to be good against some decks. We do have a little bit of pressure with the Kinra, so it's not an exciting hand, but I think it's a keep. But yeah, definitely not excited about it. I mean, hopefully we get to go turn 2 Kinra, turn 3 Abrade something. Drawing Catacombs could mean a few different things. Could be Esper control, blue-black control, blue-black mid-range. Those are the main ones. So we've got Esper colors up here. Our hand is not that great against Esper, really, because assuming it's Esper control, there's also like an Esper mid-range deck. See if our guy gets sealed away here. If he does, then it's probably Esper control. Looks like he probably is Fatal Push. Fatal Push, well, I mean, just Esper decks in general, hard to really say exactly what they are. Like, we may see a History of Benalia here, and it's more like the Esper mid-range type deck. Okay, Search for Escanta means we're solidly against control here. So this Abrade is pretty bad. I think we just need to launch Lightning Strike up to his face. And probably just time to resolve a hazard here. Well, he doesn't have mana. He's not attacking. He could attack next turn, because we could go Lightning Strike his face and then Abrade our own guy if we draw a land. Maybe the play. Or, well, actually, no. If we draw a land, then we'll Lightning Strike plus discard the hazard, I guess. Though discarding the hazard, it's not great against him since they have so many ways to remove a hazard. So you actually have to make a decision here. Like, it's pretty silly to do that. Yeah, I guess we discard the Abrade. Because if he just gets sealed away immediately, then that is pretty poor. So let's discard the Abrade. We may wind up regretting that, you know, if he just kills our guy and then he's got a Gearhulk kind of on later turn, but I mean, we won't really regret it if he kills our guy because we'd rather have the other hazard. So yeah, I think that's really the only play. If he doesn't kill hazard, then we probably don't care about Gearhulk. I mean, if we connect here with hazard, then he's going to go to 5 here. Hopefully he does not have the seal away. Alright, looks like no seal away. So that's good news. If he wants to Vraska's Contemptus next turn, then we'll at least be able to resolve our other hazard. So not have to worry about counter spells. This mic is positioned poorly. Fix that. Alright. Sorry if the mic quality was a little off there. Alright, so very good chance that we get... can't settle the wreckage just here, but very good chance we get Vraska's Contempted. Though we may have done that on his turn. Hard to imagine he doesn't have something, though. So let's go ahead and pitch the land. Well, should we pitch the land or should we play the land? Could also play the land and just get back Kinra. I think I actually like that. Because like I said, it can't settle the wreckage here, so we shouldn't have to be able to deal with multiple creatures other than like Seal Away plus Cast Down or something like that. Or... Alright, so he's had enough. Alright, so blue-black control. So the general game plan here is to... Well, it's... I didn't see really enough of his deck to know how much the white splash is. A lot of times they're basically blue-black splashing like Teferi. I think they even do play a plains even when they're on that plane. Though seeing a plains, you know, increase the probabilities of playing multiple plains. I mean, so the big question is, do we have to worry about a Lyra or not? I'm going to guess not. And that is a decision that could cost us dearly, but that is what I'm going to guess. Because, like I said, Esper's usually blue-black splashing white, and they're usually not playing double white cards in the sideboard, though. Obviously, they certainly could be. So I think we'll just be bringing in these 7 cards. The Either Sphere Harvesters are always kind of a question mark. They sort of give your guys haste. So it's not totally unreasonable. Let's see what we've got to remove here. We've obviously got a lot of removal spells that we don't need. Or these burn spells. But I've sort of found that the burn spells aren't the worst, because a lot of times you do get them down low and then just have a hard time finishing them off. Though the counter argument to that is, if you're drawing creatures instead, those creatures might be doing that damage. But they generally have more answers to creatures than they do to spells. A lot of times it's like you're lucky if an individual creature is even doing 3 damage. That being said, we can definitely get rid of the shocks. And we don't want to play all these Abrades. Like, you probably want to play 2 Abrades. And so, the question is, do we want... So probably we can get rid of these Lightning Strikes. Chain Whirler is honestly not that great either. He's just basically a 3-mana 3/3 in this matchup. Which is okay. He's guaranteed, if he resolves, to get a point of damage, so that's something. Alright, I think we'll just go with this and not bring in the Aether Sphere Harvesters. They probably don't play any Wraths. Yeah, I think we'll go with this. Don't think we want the Harvesters in this matchup, but that could be wrong. Okay, I think this hand is okay on the draw. It's very much in need of lands because we've got 3 4-drops and a 5-drop and only 1 2-drop. But we're on the draw, so we're getting the extra card. Opponent did mulligan. And, I mean, you kind of want to draw a lot of your high-end threats against control. And if you can make them use one of their answers on a cheaper thing, then that's good too. Alright, so drawing a land's perfect. Like, your ideal start against them is always going to involve Bomat Courier. But it's not like you can mulligan to that. It's only a 3 of in this deck. Alright, his mana might be a little awkward here. Okay, the other Kinra is not a terrible draw just because it's something to do on turn 3, which we currently don't have. But we're going to want to land in the next 2 for sure. If we have to land in the next 2, then I'm feeling pretty good about this hand. Alright, I mean, for not being a land, a Chandra is not a terrible draw. Just as another threat. Chandra's, if you resolve Chandra is like one of the best things you can have against them. And a disallow on a Kinra is great because that means he doesn't have an Essence Scatter in his hand or a Syncopate, so he's probably relatively low on counter magic. So hopefully we just rip a land here, and we do. So then we'll have to figure out the exact sequencing that we want to do here. We've actually got a decent chance of resolving whatever we play. I think I'm going to go with the Phoenix, though, because when Phoenix stays in play, that's great, and then if it gets a counterspell out of his hand, then that's pretty great too. I think Hazoret's too remote of a threat right now. So yeah, we'll go with that. He's probably, if he counters this, it's probably going to be with another disallow. So we'd have to have a second disallow in his hand to counter this. And we do have 2 Chandras, so they're somewhat expendable, but if just one of them sticks, then we're probably winning the game. So let's see what happens with the Phoenix. I mean, it's possible he does have an Essence Scatter in his hand, like, because either, yeah, so second disallow. So unless he's got another disallow, our Chandra should be resolving this turn. Because, I mean, it could obviously have a Syncopate or something like that, which would be unfortunate. So let's go ahead and attack. But yeah, this is kind of how you want the games to go against them. Like, you want an early threat that's just doing some damage. I mean, this Kinra's done 8 damage to him. So he's going to have to answer it at some point. And I have high hopes that Chandra's going to resolve here. Though, not a guarantee. It could have boarded in negate. It could also have a third disallow. Alright, looks like Chandra resolved. And if he cast outs this, that's, you know, probably his best bet right now, but that's okay too. Because we got more where that came from. I guess he was thinking of like Glimmering in response or something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Because he did go to cast a spell. So we'll have to figure out exactly what we want to do next turn. Obviously depends on what happens to our Chandra this turn. We're not quite at the point where Hazoret's going to be attacking anytime soon. So he put 2 cards on top, so that's a little scary. So the cards he's going to put on top, obviously, any kind of answer to... I mean, he's got to... The number one thing he has to do is answer Chandra. So he's not going to have Gearhulk this turn since he played the Evolving Wilds. That's good news. Gearhulk's one of the better cards against us. So he probably topped... Well, I guess he can't cast Vraska's Contempt. If he's just going for a Teferi here, minus on Chandra, then that doesn't worry me all that much. Because we can immediately kill his Teferi, and you can't do anything about it. And we get to resolve another Chandra. I'm curious what the other card he put on top would be. Maybe probably a Gearhulk would make sense. Though, you know, there's a number of cards that would potentially make sense. I think I'll Chandra pre-combat. That way if I hit a Bomat Courier, I can send it at Teferi, and, you know, obviously I get to attack with it. Let's do the Chandra pre-combat here since we don't have to play around anything. Oh, look at that, paid off. So now we get to attack him and attack Teferi, and we're keeping the pressure on here. So Gearhulk's a card I'm assuming that he's got. So we have to figure out how the best way to play around that. Not all of these lists play... Okay, so I guess he's just going to cast another Teferi. So I guess he doesn't have a Gearhulk. Or does he have a... Okay, Vraska's Contempt would be another card that would make sense. Though I feel like you would... I guess he didn't have the second black. Did he fetched the swamp with that, so I guess he had to play Teferi last turn and then fetch up that. Okay, so that would make sense as the other card that he would have. So let's see. So I think here we're just gonna play Glorybringer, I think. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play Glorybringer here. I mean, not a bad option would be to just flashback this Earthshaker Kinra, because we're hitting him down to 3 then, and then he's in serious trouble. And we don't really care about leaving a Bomat Courier since our hand is so good that we don't want to pitch it. The only problem with that is that it is making Hazoret further and further away from attacking, which we'd like to do, and it also plays into Essence Scatter, which he could have. So I actually think I like the Kinra play here. Puts him down to 3, so he's under very serious pressure. I mean, other than like a Seal Away or a blink of an eye, he's not going to have too many ways to interact with this. Alright, looks like he's just taking it down to 3. Alright, so do we think he has a Gearhulk here? Does a Gearhulk even matter? Like, if we play Glorybringer pre-combat and he Gearhulks Disallow, I think he just dies. So is he going to Gearhulk main phase here? Looks like he's going to Gearhulk main phase. He's going to Gearhulk main phase and Vraska's Contempt. I think he'll die to that though, because we get a Glorybringer. Yeah. So if that's his play, if he's gonna Vraska's Contempt, he's gonna go up to 5. Get this, and then Glorybringer gets to attack, and all we need to do is get an additional point of damage in, and then we win. Yeah. So I think we win here. Pretty sure we win here, unless he has land Fatal Push, which I don't think he does have. So he's gonna, I guess, exile the 4-power guy. Maybe I don't think he's gonna exile a Bomek Courier. Though it doesn't really matter. Okay, he is gonna exile the Bomek Courier. Unfortunately for him, our hand is just so good that it doesn't even matter. And we get to kill him now. Okay, well this was a lot easier than it normally is against Esper. It's usually much more of a grind. We actually got him on turn 8, and then game 1 we killed him on... What turn was it? Turn 5 he conceded? He did mulligan this game. He kept a full 7 the first game. But yeah, that went pretty well. I definitely say it's usually much more of a struggle against them. But I think we're able to, you know, kind of properly read his hand and sequence our threats appropriately to get the best ones into play and to make him, to put him in the most awkward situation. Strain his resources the most. But, I mean, I'm not going to lie, we also just did get lucky that his draws were pretty bad and ours were really good. Like, our hand was basically perfect that second game. Like, you got just enough early pressure. Like, you don't want to draw a bunch of your early creatures because then your draw is just a little bit anemic and they don't have to worry about it. But you want a little bit of early pressure. I mean, that one Kinra did 10 damage or something like that. It did almost half of his life total. And then we're just basically able to, after that, just, you know, use another Kinra to eat a counterspell, which was great because we had, you know, just a bevy of 4 and 5 mana threats to leverage in our hand. Alright, this is definitely a mulligan. Don't really want to keep a one-lander here. This is a great hand, though, so I don't think our chances are too much worse with this hand than average 7. We have to keep in mind that this card, unless we lead with Soulscar Mage, is going to wind up under Bomek Courier. So I think we want to put it on bottom because we do want to lead with Bomek Courier and we don't need to land that badly that we want to leave it on top. So I think we'll just put this on bottom because by the time we pop Bomek Courier, chances are we have enough lands. Obviously, that's the 3rd land for the Chain Whirler, but I don't think it's worth not getting an attack in with Bomek Courier. Alright, so basic planes could be a lot of things. So do have a kind of decision here because it is good to have Soulscar Mage down when you've got the Chain Whirler, but we're not even guaranteed to draw a 3rd line next turn, far from it. So I think it's just better to use our mana most efficiently and get the most damage, get the most power on board. Alright, looks like another control matchup here. Well, I think I'll just play another Kinra. The Soulscar Mage becomes a lot less relevant against blue-white control. Assuming that's what we're playing against. If this eats an Essence Scatter, that's pretty okay. Or, yeah, Syncopate's better because we won't be able to flash him back later. But I'm still okay to eat up any kind of resource with the Kinra. Are going to have to draw lines here. Alright, so he's going to seal away Bomek Courier here. And there's a land, that's good. So we'll just get down our Chain Whirler here. Let's put him down to 10 this turn. And I mean, he's facing a decent amount of threats. I mean, Settle the Wreckage is going to go a long way towards stabilizing him here. I'm not really sure how we play around that. Maybe we just attack with Chain Whirler. He already used 1 Seal Away, so I think I'll do that and just play. It's actually very annoying as the control player when they do this. You know, obviously there's things you could have that backfire here, but let's play my Soulscar Mage. Like, he can't just really just sit there and leave up Settle the Wreckage the whole game if that's what he's got. It backfires a bit if they've got Glimmer of Genius, but if we run into Settle the Wreckage there, we basically lose the game on the spot because our hand is going to be Soulscar Mage, land, and Abrade at that point. Okay, don't mind a Hazoret. So maybe we play the Hazoret just pre-combat here. And if he lets it resolve, then we probably just attack with like Chain Whirler plus Soulscar Mage and put him to 3. And if it doesn't resolve, then we get attack with the team. So let's just go ahead and play Hazoret here. This will give us a good read on, well, first of all, it's going to make it, yeah, it'll give us a very good read on whether he's got Settle the Wreckage or not. We're not going to attack with Hazoret to Settle the Wreckage. Alright, so he's got a counter spell. So now we get attack for 6 and put him to 1. So I think we're going to be in really good shape this game. It's going to take a lot to come back from this, I think. If he has a Fumigate, that helps. He does have a Fumigate, so he's at 4. Alright, well, Hazoret will kill him now. Alright, well, I think we've had uncharacteristically easy games against Control here. They're normally much bigger grinds than this. But I am not going to complain. Alright, so we're going to sideboard a little differently because we do need to fight with fire since he's likely to have Lyras. So I think we'll bring in all of these, and I think we'll just take out... It's always such a gamble to try to figure out if they've got Gearhulks or not, because the Abrades are just absolutely dead if they don't. They're not totally dead because you can use them to save a Phoenix or I guess a Kinra from a Seal Away, but man, they're poor. The Shocks are definitely going to come out, and definitely 2 Abrades come out, as I've already taken out. I think we'll take out all these Lightning Strikes. The Fight with Fires are nice because even if they don't have Lyra, sometimes they ramp you to 9 mana with their Settle the Wreckages. And sometimes you can get there with Treasure Map. I think the last card I'll take out is just a Soulscar Mage. But yeah, it is always such a gamble to know if these Abrades are just going to be totally dead cards or not. At least the deck does have some ways to get rid of dead cards in the form of Bomat Courier or Hazoret. Not that you really get any value. I mean, if you use all your cards, you get just as much value out of Bomat Courier, so that doesn't really count, but at least Hazoret can throw him at his face or something. So yeah, I think we'll go with this. Okay. So this is not that different from our second game of the last match. The big difference is we've got a Soulscar Mage and not a Kinra. I think we want to keep it though. I mean, Soulscar Mage is quite a bit worse in this situation than Kinra since he's, you know, basically just going to be attacking for 1 every turn. But we do just have a lot of our threats that we want. Like all of these require, you know, basically individual answers or they'll lose the game. So I will keep this hand. Same caveat as before. We need to draw lands, and you know we could just wind up doing almost nothing this game if we don't. But I've got faith in the deck. Okay, well our hand just got tremendously better because Bomat Courier is one of the best cards to have on turn 1 against. I mean, it is the best card to have on turn 1 against him. Obviously, I mean, really, you've only got 2 1-drops. This guy and this guy. And Soulscar Mage doesn't do a lot. I mean, he can be useful against Kinras and Gearhulks and stuff just to shrink them down a little bit. Though, not even really relevant to post-board because we don't have... okay, I actually don't mind this. Definitely really need to draw lands quick, though. But we don't really have much burn left in post-board, and, you know, a Braid... Well, it can shrink a Gearhulk and also just kill a Gearhulk, so not that relevant. We could possibly stand to miss a land drop with this hand, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but probably not 2. Is he going to go for Seal Away right now? He's got the History of Benalia, and it's actually pretty decent here. Alright, we did miss a land drop. Do we want to trade our Kinra for his Knight token? What's the benefit of trading our Kinra with his Knight token? I mean, I think we do it. It's not really a great trade, but I think you have to do it. It does reduce the amount of damage he's going to do on later turns with his History of Benalia, which is somewhat relevant, though. If we're worried about our life total, we're kind of losing anyway. So kind of need like consecutive lands now. Drawn 3 non-lands so far, which isn't great. Yeah, now we're in kind of a tough spot. The only good news is, okay, we drew a land, so the only good news is, well, it's not much good news. Because if this guy doesn't resolve, then we can't attack. If he does resolve, then we have to worry about Settle the Wreckage. I guess that's a sign he doesn't have Settle the Wreckage, but I'm not gonna... Yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't have Settle the Wreckage if he counters there. But you can't be totally sure. Alright, so he's going to get us for 4. So yeah, we'd be taking 8 here, and we would have taken 2 the last turn, so I mean, we'd be at 10 instead of 16. Let's see if he wants to... Okay, so drawing a land is very good. So I think we'll just play a Phoenix and see what he does. He used Essence Scatter, so he could very well have a lot of counterspells. The only good thing about making him use counterspells right now is that it may interfere with him casting a Glimmer of Genius. Okay. So that could mean, obviously, a lot of things. Could mean just he has a cast out ready to go. Could mean he wants to Glimmer of Genius. To find such a thing. I think we're slightly behind here, but not horribly behind. He's at 2 cards on the bottom, so that's always a good sign. Alright, so obviously when they pass with 6 mana up, you're always thinking of exactly 1 card. Though that card doesn't deal with Rekindling Phoenix in any way, given his current state of the graveyard. So I think I'll attack with Rekindling Phoenix and then play Chandra, because he only has Essence Scatter in his yard. If he wants to settle the Wreckage here, then I think Chandra will resolve. And we can be not totally sure, but somewhat sure. Okay, he's got a cast out. So now I will play Chandra. And Syncopate's the card that gets us here, which would be awkward, but I don't think we're going to have a better opportunity. He didn't Syncopate our Phoenix last turn, so it might actually resolve. And I don't think we've got any... Maybe we can just kill his Night token, actually. I think I like killing his Night token. Obviously, if we had done that pre-combat, we could have attacked for a bunch, but we needed to, like, we couldn't attack, like, doing that and having Chandra counter kind of sucks, especially if he's going to have to find a way to answer. All right, so it looks like, what is this, a Gearhulk? Oh, a Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista's pretty good here. So he gets to kill Bomat Courier as well. Yeah, I guess we just play Phoenix here and pass. That's pretty awkward. If he draws a land, he gets to basically 1-for-1 our Phoenix with his Ballista, but he has to use tons of mana to do that. It's kind of the only thing going in our favor, but I don't really see another great play. So I think I'll just play the Phoenix here. I don't think getting Hazoret down right now really does anything. So yeah, if he wants to, he can spend 8 mana to put 2 counters on his guy, shoot the Phoenix, and shoot the token. Okay, he's not going to go for that. Playing the Ballista for that amount also kind of indicates to me he doesn't have a lot of other instants in his hand. I'm guessing he drew Benalia, because he could have just played Ballista for 2 and played Benalia, so he probably drew the Benalia. So that is interesting. Alright, I think we just go ahead here and drop Chain Whirler and see what he wants to do. We'll put a counter on his Ballista. He could respond and shoot down the Soulscar Mage and the Courier. Would he just immediately counter this if he could? Good question. Is he just going to let the counter go on his guy? He's going to let the counter go on his guy. Alright, I don't think I want to play my Bomat Courier here unless he does something to make me think otherwise. So let's attack with the Phoenix here. Maybe we've got a... we can't attack with the 1-2 because he can just put a counter on his guy. Alright, does he have Settle the Wreckage? Okay, another cast out. So he's down to 1 card in hand. So that's good news. I don't think getting the Bomat Courier down right now is going to do us any favors. The only argument for it, which isn't really an argument, is that it does let us attack with Hazard next turn. The only way we attack with Hazard next turn anyways is if we draw a land, so a 1-drop doesn't really matter for that. Alright, so he's down to 1 card in hand. I don't know what the attack with the Ballista would mean. Oh, was he going to activate the Ballista and shoot down our Courier right now, I think? No? Maybe in our draw step? No? Not doing any such thing. I think let's just attack with Chain Whirler and see what happens. He's at a high enough life total where he's not obliged to really do anything about it quite yet. But he may feel he is. Alright, then I think we'll just get down Hazard here. Alright. So he's going to put another counter on his Ballista. Oh, he's going to bounce his History of Benalia. He just wants more Knight tokens, okay. I mean, not a bad play. 4 mana, draw a History of Benalia plus a Teferi, perhaps. He's going to have his 1 unknown card. He drew off Teferi, I suppose. Tricky decision if we draw a land here. Okay, we drew a Chain Whirler, which is actually pretty solid. So I think I'll play my Soulscar Mage, just have redundant Soulscar Mages so that we still get to neg his team if he wants to shoot our Soulscar Mage in response. So he's not worried about I think I will go for his Teferi. That way he can't -3 something. He's still at 11, so yeah, makes sense that he's gonna chump block here. Alright, now he's gonna put a counter on Ballista, I assume. Shooting us? Fumigate? Fumigate wouldn't be too big of an issue. I mean, we do lose a lot of life, but should with most draws be able to, like, only if we draw like any draw we can attack with Hazard here. Pretty awkward if he's got a Gearhold, because we gotta get rid of this Abrade before we attack. But I think we just have to risk it at this point. Unless he Essence Scatters this off his Gearhold, which would be pretty great. So there's a possibility. That'd be amazing if you did. Okay, well, we're not going to have the luxury to play around him having a Gearhulk as his last card. And we can't play around stuff. We just can't really play around anything here. So we're just going to have to pitch that. Okay, so he's got Glimmer. I don't know why Glimmer there. One top, one bottom. Alright, well if he's got Settle the Wreckage, he's got Settle the Wreckage. I don't know if that's the only card he would keep. But we can't really play around it here. Looks like that's what he hit. No, he hit a Cast Out. Alright. Well, it's going to be a long game. It's got a Knight of Grace. Okay, land would be a good draw. Another Bomat Courier is like the worst draw. Maybe at this point we just have to... Yeah, I think at this point we just have to maybe pop these Bomat Couriers and draw 3 cards here. I think just trying to wait to get this Glorybringer into play is just not a good enough play. We do forego a damage by doing that because we're gonna have to sack both the Bomat Couriers before damage is dealt because he's obviously gonna block. But I think that's worth. Well, maybe it's not worth an extra card. Maybe just having the extra Bomat Courier, that's fine because he's gonna block the larger, the one with 2 cards under it rather than 1, I assume. Let's just have Settle the Wreckage, Gearhulk. What? Blink of an Eye? Blink of an Eye's kind of okay. Okay, he's just gonna Glimmer. Let's see. Put card on top and bottom. I guess I should do it this way. So hold priority. It's going to take quite a bit for us to actually win this game. It's all mountains. Huh? Yeah, I think we're just losing here. We can basically just concede. I don't think I'm going to concede quite yet. I'm going to play that now, just use my mana more efficiently. He's a card that he wanted on top. So at least we learned he does have Gearhulks for sure. I mean, we boarded as if he did anyway. Alright, he's just going to get us, so that probably means another Gearhulk, I would assume. Alright, let's see if this works. Guessing Settle the Wreckage. I guess we get to kill his Knight and not die next turn. No, if he's got another Gearhulk, then we do just he's got to seal away. So it could have been the card he kept on top. He's got another seal away. So well, we're not dead. I mean, we're basically dead, but we're not quite dead. Not sure what exactly series of miracles we'd need here to win. That's not it. Alright, third game here. Do we want to change anything up? A third of Braid may be okay, actually, because he actually does have targets for it with the Knights, both from Benalia and from just the Knights, the Knight of Grace. Maybe we take out Fight with Fires. We didn't see any Lyras. So I think I'll take out Fight with Fires. We actually never saw any Settle the Wreckages either. I kind of assume he's got those. It's so bad if we don't have Fight with Fire and he's got Lyra. I mean, it's not totally unbeatable, but it's very close to unbeatable. Like, you can bash through it with On-Crop Crasher or Soulscar Mage, Glorybringer, it's something like that, but it's a long, long road. I think I'll even one Fight with Fire just as a hedge. Because he definitely has Settle. I don't know if I can't remember if we saw Settle the Record's first game. We played against 2 Esper control or blue or Esper control decks. Alright, this hand's fun. It's got a good curve in 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're on the play, so should be able to get a good chunk of damage in with our early creatures and put him to the test. Okay, that's a good draw over Karizev. Over Earthshaker Kynra. If he plays a Knight of Grace here, then... Okay, he doesn't. So it's probably not... How do we want to do this? Yeah, I think we'll just play Chain Roller. Let's attack first and see what happens. Could seal away here, and that would change our decision. I guess he's going to seal away Karizev. So we'll just get down Chain Whirler here. If he's got Benalia next turn, then we still get to get him for a good chunk of change with our Kynra. And, I mean, it can't really block Chain Whirler anyway, so if we draw land, we'll just play the Phoenix, even if he plays Benalia. Alright, let's just go ahead and attack. Can attack, and then do we play the Phoenix? No, maybe it's actually better to just play the Kynra here. Because that's better if he counters the Kynra. This also plays around Syncopate. We can still get the Soulscar Mage on the board. Alright, so he's going to either melt down that guy. Still taking 3 down to 12. Let's go ahead and get Soulscar Mage down, because why not? We do have to worry about a Fumigate in a few turns, but till then it's kind of pedal to the metal. Obviously, you know, there's Settle the Wreckage to worry about here. Treasure Map's not bad, but I think... Well, we'll see exactly how this combat goes. We do want to attack with Chain Whirler in case he has Settled. That way it's a creature... Well, we get another land, and it's a creature off the board for a future Fumigate. I think we'll just attack with like 3 guys. If we miss the 1 point of damage, it's not that big a deal. Alright, looks like it's a Settle. Does get us closer to... Alright. Does get us closer to Fight with Fire Kicked. We're only 2 lands away now. Yet to be seen if it's going to be quite enough. So we're a little low on gas right now. Alright, let's go ahead and play pre-combat to get the prowess trigger on our Soulscar Mage. Not sure we can really play around a second Settle the Wreckage here. And saving Soulscar Mage is just not that valuable. Like if he has another Settle the Wreckage here, it's just bad for us. I guess we get to abrade our Phoenix, so it's not even that bad. Counterpoint, not that bad. Does that mean he has an Essence Scatter? If he doesn't kick that? Or a Syncopate, maybe? Huh. Might just want to abrade that. I'm guessing that means he's got Essence Scatter. I mean, he's got to have some way to counter it or he would have kicked it. So I think we just abrade that. Does also get an extra damage in with the Soulscar Mage. It kind of sucks if... It kind of sucks if he has like a Wrath next turn, I guess, but not that badly. Because I mean, he's wrathing away this. It also kind of sucks if he has a Gear Hulk, but I mean, we still get him for 4 next turn, and we're scrying. Set an upkeep stop because we'll definitely want to scry an upkeep, unless we, of course, unless we hit something on top that we want. Definitely put that on bottom. Scry an upkeep. Let's let this resolve first. Bottom. Okay. So against a Gear Hulk, he doesn't have any counters in his yard right now. He does have Settle the Wreckage, of course. So that's the big thing to worry about. So I think we'll just attack with the Phoenix and see if he wants to Settle the Wreckage. Because that's what he'll be doing. Because we're not going to attack with... If Hazard resolves, we're not going to attack with both. Alright. Don't think he's got... I think he would have used his... He must just be like glimmering this turn. I think it's fine to just go ahead and play this Hazard here. I mean, he was playing as if he had Syncopate or Essence Scatter, so that's going to get us. Yeah, there's the Essence Scatter. But hopefully with Treasure Map, we're going to be drawing more gas. Alright, he's on a 1 card in hand. I don't think he's got to Settle the Wreckage. I think we would have... He would have certainly cast it just on our Phoenix last turn. He probably just drew that. He does have Field of Ruin to get our treasure, which does suck. Hopefully the Scries at least do enough. Alright. Not to get our treasures, but the Treasure Cove. Alright, he's on a 1. Let's go ahead and play this guy. He's got another Essence Scatter, so he is top decking here. He's going to kill our Treasure Cove with this Field of Ruin for sure. Only good news is we will easily cast a kicked Fight with Fire now. So let's see if he draws an answer to Mr. Phoenix. Do but attack. Looks like he drew something. So Gear Hulk that he's... Okay, he's going to Settle the Wreckage with his Gear Hulk. Alright, well, it's a game. He's not going to be able to attack for a bit. We got Fight with Fire. Kills him right away. If we draw any lands, we'll keep him in hand. Alright, well, this will be lethal. Oh, really? Oh. Alright. Well, we got, what, 3 Chain Whirlers, 2 Chain Whirlers. Glorybringer, Hazard. Let's see what he's got. Put a card on top and bottom. He's gonna play it like his History of Benalia. Okay, Walking Ballista for 1. Alright, Glorybringer kills him. Close game. I mean, he's 1-20, but it... Whew. Definitely felt like he was, you know, if he just had a series of good top decks there, which he did. I mean, he drew Disallow into a Glimmer of Genius. You had to draw something real fast there. If he just got it to Fairy down before we could really find anything, it'd be lights out. So that was a close one. All right, well, improved to 2-0. Let's go ahead into round 3. Get a match right away. Ignacio Perot. We won the die roll. We'll go first. Yeah, this hand's okay. You don't always get 1-drops. Alright, he mulliganed. And he's gonna keep. So almost certainly we'll lead with Karazev next turn. Basically against anything. Alright, another blue duck. This hand's okay. I mean, at least as far as game 1 hands go, is okay against blue ducks. Got early pressure. Got lands in case we draw any of our much rarer in-game stuff. Alright, 6 lands is definitely too many though. So now I've got a decision about which card I want to play. One plays around, like Kinra kind of plays around Essence Scatter and Syncopate, because obviously Syncopate I could just pay 1, and then Essence Scatter I'd rather have the Kinra Essence Scatter than the Goblin Chainwhirler. And if he's got Seal Away, he's probably just Seal Awaying the Karazev anyway. So he could attack and make him bait the Seal Away, or bait out the Seal Away. Alright, looks like we're getting Sealed Away on Karazev. Assume Karazev. Is he gonna miss a land drop? Okay. I feel a lot better about the chances of our Chainwhirler resolving now. Yeah, we'll get the Chainwhirler down just for mana efficiency. They both present 3 damage next turn. Both play around Syncopate. I don't suspect he has Essence Scatter, but it's possible. Looks like he does. Not cycling. Okay. The reason I don't think he has Essence Scatter is, well, he didn't counter this, which you may think, well, he just wanted to seal away anyway, or seal away rather than counter that, but he didn't think about it too long either. So you can sometimes tell a lot by just the timing of what your opponents are doing. Okay, well, anything that's not a land is better than a land. I think here we'll just attack with Chainwhirler. It's pretty bad to get Settle the Wreckage here, and we're not in a big hurry here. I guess it would have been better to play Karazev pre-combat, actually. Because if he wants to Essence Scatter, yeah, that was a mistake. Should have played Karazev pre-combat. Okay. Now, of course, we have to worry about if we're going to get Fumigated next turn, which would be a problem. The blue-white decks don't usually play a ton of Fumigates. I'll leave back the Soulscar Mage just to hedge, because I'm almost certainly not going to attack with 4 guys next turn anyway. So I think that's okay. And just hope we don't get Fumigated here. Looks like no Fumigate. Alright. So now I think we'll attack with just Karazev. This may seem insanely patient, but if he's got Settle the Wreckage, it does put him in a really tough spot, and we would lose if he doesn't, and they're usually playing like 3 or 4 copies. And if we lose, I mean, at most you're attacking with 2 guys here. And Karazev's the best to do it with because, I don't know, you get 2 lines out of it, I guess. And also like a Seal Away or something just by itself. I think I will play my Soulscar Mage now, though. Because he would have Fumigated last turn. Almost certainly. And I think we'll just leave this land in hand just to make him guess whether or not we have it for the Kinra. Alright, so Gearhulk a big deal right now. Alright, I think we'll attack with Kari Zev plus a Soulscar Mage. This gets in a little bit more damage. And if he wants to pull the trigger on Settle the Wreckage here, it's not too big a deal. He's disallowing the Kari Zev trigger? Wow. That is an interesting play. Alright, well I'm going to go on a limb here and say he doesn't have Settle the Wreckage, because why would you make such a play otherwise? I'm not even sure what he could have that would make sense. Maybe he's just trying to get down something for Gearhulk? Is he just slamming it to Teferi here? That seems pretty desperate. Well, I guess he gets to play Teferi plus leave up Settle. But wouldn't you just settle there? I mean, man, that's just a crazy play. Alright, well we'll just jam now because we have Lethal Burn in hand, obviously, so it doesn't really matter if he Settle the Wreckages us here. Be good to find out. I just want to find out if he's got Settle the Wreckage, though. And, you know, obviously we kill him if he does. Alright. So it turns out he did have Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, I mean, I think probably if we played it a different way, or a substantially different way, we probably would have lost. You know, I mean, who knows? He could have just drawn Settle the Wreckage off Teferi there as his last card, and, you know, we don't know. Did seem like Settle Wreckaging on the turn that we had Kari Zev and the Soulscar Mage attacking would have been a lot better play than Disallow. But maybe he figured, just since we had such a board presence, the Disallow was never going to do anything more. Like, sometimes you do have to just use a removal spell on the monkey. And I mean, it's like a removal spell you can only use on the monkey and not on the other guys. So, that's possible. Well, there's been nothing but blue-white, or blue control decks, I should say, today. And now the guessing game begins again with figuring out how to sideboard. Because the big question marks, as always, are Lyra, Dawnbringer, and Torrential Gearhulk. So we know we're going to take out Shocks. We know we're going to take out 2 Abrades. So we could change that game 3 if we lose. If we think he's got, or if we know he's got, like, bringing in more creatures like Knight of Graces and stuff, which does seem to be somewhat popular tech. Maybe we should just have like 3 Abrades on. I think it's too much. I'm gonna take out all the Lightning Strikes. And the last card to cut, I guess, is just like a Soulscar Mage. It's sort of an out to Lyras and stuff, but not really. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do this. Yeah, having played the control side of that matchup, it's surprising. Like, at first blush, you think it's really bad to just attack with one guy into their possible Settle the Wreckage, but you'd be shocked how effective that is. Like, I'm not saying that's how you always have to play it. Sometimes you don't have that luxury, but when they're like sitting at 10 and you can just chip in for 3 a turn, it puts them in a really weird spot. Alright, so he's got to search for Azcanta, but we have basically our ideal start. And we even got an answer for Lyra, which is possible this hand will make him just have to kind of play it on turn 5 and hope, in which case we might be able to get him. I mean, obviously a lot of Magic to be played between then and now, so. But yeah, Fight with Fire is obviously at its best when they can't counter it. And they don't have a ton of counters. I mean, they're going to have disallow, but they're not going to have a ton of counters specifically fight with fire. They're going to have probably more essence. I generally board it down to like 3. He's going to play like a History of Benalia here, I think. Ooh, Gideon. So we do get to kill the Gideon, which is good news. And just as importantly, we get to increase our board presence without fear of a counterspell. So yeah, Lyra is really not a problem now. I mean, he's not even going to really be able to play it. So this turn, assuming he plays an untapped land, we'll play a Hazard pre-combat and see what he wants to do about that. And then we'll be able to decide. Well, now we got to decide, because the Hazard is actually not attacking for a long time. So let's just go ahead and play Rekindling Phoenix pre-combat here. See what he says about that. Alright, so he's not going to counter it. So that, to me, screams Settle the Wreckage. I think we'll attack with just On-Crop Crasher. Yeah, I think just On-Crop Crasher is a fine attack here. Alright. Okay, he's going to Blink of an Eye or Phoenix. That's kind of okay. So he's putting an island in his graveyard, so he must have plenty of lands in hand. So I think he's thinking about if he wants to counter this. It looks like he does. Alright, so now we get a jam in, put him down to 7. Probably just drew that disallow. I would imagine he probably would have cast that instead of bouncing everything, but could be wrong. Alright, Pull from Tomorrow. Not a card I usually kept in when I was on his side of the matchup. Fumigate's not too big of a deal here. I think Teferi's even less of a big deal. And we'll just go for him here. We can ignore the Teferi for right now. Should play my land first. I'm not popping the Bomek Courier anyway, I don't think. He's kind of can't. He doesn't really have the luxury here to kill our Bomek Courier. He's got a Seal Away or something here. So he'd be going down to 2 if he kills our Bomek Courier. So he's probably got a Seal Away. Okay, he's going to either melt down that. So now we get to resolve a Hazard. Which, if we untap with him, we kill him. So that puts him under quite a bit of pressure here. He kept a card on top though, so he's got something. He could just minus on Hazard and leave up Settle the Wreckage. Alright, looks like that's what's gonna happen. Alright, so let's go ahead and play our Hazard first. If he has any kind of counter magic, then he doesn't have Settle the Wreckage. Sure, he's not going to just die here, but we'll play this pre-combat in case he wants to seal away our Bomat Courier. I mean, he's not dead, obviously. He's going to 1, but it's not good news for him. Then after we attack with Bomat Courier, the card under the one we exile is going to be the other Hazoret. Do we just put him to 1 and kill Teferi? Doesn't seem crazy. Or sorry, put him to 3 and then kill Teferi. The advantage to not killing Teferi would be that once we draw Hazoret, assuming we hit a land off our Bomat Courier, which we're going to draw 6 cards, and we just get to immediately kill him. But it does give him another draw. Yeah, I think I'll kill Teferi. I'm really not sure about that decision, though. And I'm just going to, right after damage, I'm going to pop my Bomat Courier. Okay, he's going to seal away Earthshaker Kenner, so it didn't actually matter. But I mean, he's getting us 6 cards here. 6, right? So I don't think he's going to win with us having 6 cards. And we'll draw the Hazoret next turn. He doesn't have Gearhulk, I guess. Let's see what he hits off this. Disallow. He, in theory, knows we're drawing Hazoret this turn. If all he's got is Disallow, though, we actually can still kill him. Because 6, 7, no, we're 1 short. Because between the Abrade and the Chain Whirler, that would be 3 damage. So it's possible the better play here is to just play Chain Whirler. See if he wants to let that resolve. If he doesn't, then we get to play Glorybringer and kill him. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Chain Whirler here. And then he may be in a real awkward position with our Soulscar Mage. Alright, looks like he's going to disallow this. I'm going to Essence Scatter that. Yeah, I think what we'll do here is just attack him, Abrade our, well, yeah, if we braid our On-Crop Crasher, that'll put him down to 1. Maybe we just do need to deploy one of these bigger threats. So maybe we just play Glorybringer here, make him disallow that. The only problem with that is problem with playing Glorybringer is we don't also get to play Soulscar Mage, which means we'll be short of lethal next turn. Yeah, we gotta just figure out the best way to use our mana here. There's an argument to be made for just attacking and then playing the Soulscar Mage. think I'll do that. Because why let him use his disallow? He's pretty short on mana. Assume he can't disallow that. Yeah. So we're fighting more against his mana here than his cards. Especially if he's going to just do this main phase. It just means he's really only going to have like a pretty small number of things he actually... And he's going to have to like do something about the Braid on the Oncrop Crasher next turn. Actually, I mean, he just has to do something about the Soulscar Mage. Forget the Oncrop Crasher. So, like, he's going to need, like, Settle the Wreckage here. Oh, he missed? Ouch. That sucks. So he's going to go up to 6. Okay, Chandra's pretty good, too. Okay, is there a way we lose if we play Hazoret? He disallows it because he has to, or else he dies. And then we play Chandra. If he doesn't counter that, he dies. And then if he does counter it, then we have 2 lethal attackers. So I don't think there's a way we die that way. Especially if he cycles. Yeah, I think we got this one. All right, well, we've gone 6-1 in games against Blue-White Control. Sorry, the first one was against Esper Control. But pretty solid. So let's see if we can keep that up. All right, so Got round 4 here. We're currently 3-0. Got D. Bartle, me 17. The D. Bartelme. I think we've been winning most, if not all, of the die rolls. Gotta keep this hand. Don't really like seeing 2 Soulscar Mages, but what you gonna do? See if we can play against a non-control deck here. I don't think we. I think obviously we've done. Okay, the answer is no. But we've scrapped our way against 3 control decks so far, so we can keep doing it. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad matchup. I mean, we've gone 3-0 against it so far today, but it's just stressful playing against control. Okay, this may not be your grandma's control deck here. I don't normally see opt. I mean, no reason you couldn't put that into a normal control deck, but it's not a standard card in those lists, so maybe we're up against something a little different. Probably not. Search for Escanta. Main deck Authority of the Councils. Alright, we're up against something spicy here, that's for sure. So it does make that Bomat a significantly worse top deck there. We'll still play both of our guys, even though it's going to gain him some life. Hopefully they'll make up for it. But yeah, I don't really know what we're playing against. I mean, it could just be blue-eye control and they just decided to play those 2 cards, obviously. That is an option. Well, Hazard next turn would be a good draw. Except we couldn't attack with him. What did he do with his opt? He put it on bottom. So, search for Escanta, pretty reasonable card. Alright, didn't really need to draw a land there, but definitely just time to bash. So I'm down to 11. Maybe, just maybe, he'll give us some kind of target for a Braid. Not banking on it, but it's possible. Alright, so now we do have to worry about Settle the Wreckage. So how do we best play around Settle the Wreckage? Definitely it's going to involve playing our land. Well, not really, but we want to attack with Bomat Courier, I'm pretty sure. We want to attack with less than everything, but more than just Bomat Courier. Maybe just like Bomat Courier. The thing is, these guys represent quite a bit of damage. Because with these 2 cards in hand, we can Lightning Strike him and then Abrade one of them, and they'll go up to enough power that it will be 6-9 damage. So if we just get in 2 here, that'll actually be threatening lethal. So I think I'll attack with just these 2. He's probably got to pull the trigger on his Settle the Wreckage then, if he's got it. I guess we won't pop Bomat Courier. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll just shoot the Lightning Strike. If he Settle the Wreckage is here, I guess we'll shoot the Lightning Strike up at him, and then... So I don't think he's got Settle the Wreckage. We would have done it before the Bomat trigger resolved. Okay, he's just got a Seal Away. Presumably on the Kinra? Okay, that's interesting that you wouldn't do the Bomat Courier. Alright, so that's fine. So he's got another Seal. Okay, well, we technically are representing lethal next turn, believe it or not. right? Because these guys will be 3, 6, 9, 10 damage. Crazy as it may sound. This card does make the treasure maps in the sideboard a lot worse against them, just because it's like they're almost always going to have them. If he just drops it to Fairy here, I think we just try to kill him. Okay, he's not doing that, so let's just Lightning Strike him. And then we'll Abrade. Well, let's Abrade one of our guys first. It turns the Abrade into 2 life. We're discarding it anyway. So he's only going to gain 1 life off this, and we'll draw 2 cards. Alright, Hazoret's a good one to draw. He's almost dead, but he's not quite dead. Actually, he's got Authority of the Council, so he's not going to be dead at all. But we will put him to the test. Keep this land in hand, something to pitch to Hazoret. There's no downside to doing that because we can just play it if we need to. Kept a card on top. Maybe a Teferi. Okay, cast out. Well, it's better than a Teferi, I suppose. Alright, play this guy and pass. It might be behind here. So we pitched a Supreme Will. Lyra Dawnbringer, that's not what I wanted to see. This guy's definitely got an unconventional control deck here. So close to, well, so close to doing something. Not that close to killing him. Guess we exert here. I don't really know what the game plan is. But he's going to attack if we don't exert, so... Well, I guess we don't exert, because if he attacks him, we don't have to exert, so let's just pass. It's too bad we don't have a Soulscar Mage in play, because then we can actually do something about this Lyra. Alright, what's he going to do with his Azcanta? He's putting an Ipnu Rivulet in the graveyard. Played another Ipnu Rivulet. So yeah, the purpose of not attacking there is just so that, you know, we can keep attacking him back. I mean, it's a very much losing battle. If we draw another burn spell, we might be in this. Like this? No. Don't think we're in this. The main deck, Lyra Dawnbringer getting the job done. Actually, main deck, Authority of the Council is also getting the job done. Turns out when you have sideboard cards against a matchup in your main deck, it makes game 1 a lot better. Alright, so we need to draw a Lightning Strike or a Braid. We have 6 such cards left in our deck. I guess a Phoenix could, in theory, buy us some time. Alright, that's not going to do it, though. Alright, well, we lost the first game there. Never what you want to do. It does, I think, get better post-board, though. I mean, it seems like he's already pre-boarded for us, so unless he's got a lot more in his board to bring in, then we should be improving more than him. Take out the shocks. Man, I just don't know about braids. I never know with these decks. I guess we'll keep in 2, take out all the lightning strikes. Gotta cut a card here. Yeah, I guess I'm unsure about Treasure Map, because they just feel to ruin it away. So I guess I'll take out Treasure Map. Is there anything else we Want to cut? I think this is all fine. Yeah, I just think the treasure map, I mean, just, you wouldn't play 2 mana scry 1 artifact. Isn't there like a starfish that did that? Look that up. Probably the only starfish in Magic. There's one other starfish in Magic, one from Alliances, but Sigiled Starfish. Oh, you didn't even have to pay mana to activate him. So it's worse than Sigiled Starfish, is what you're saying. Would like to play first. Yeah, you got to keep this hand. We definitely have to hope to draw a lot of our high-end cards, because our low-end cards are important for applying early pressure, but you need the high-end cards to get the job done. Alright, at least he's not turn 1 authority that cancels against us. And we do have an answer to Lyra. So it's not going to be quite as simple as slamming Lyra this game. Alright, he had to turn 1 off last time. He's got to turn off again. This time he put a card on top. So it's the authority that council's coming down now. It's not. Alright, there's one of our high-end cards. That's what we need. Not going to be able to attack with him next turn. Looks like he wasn't even like contemplating any kind of counterspell there. So it's always good to know. Let's see if we get Seal Away here. No Seal Away. So we're going down to a cool 12. Just cycling a land. Alright, so if we can just draw Chandras and Phoenixes the rest of the game, we should be in good shape. Probably not going to be quite that easy. Alright, he's got authority that councils now. I will just play Hazard into turn, because... Not into turn, but you know what I mean. Unless I draw something better. No, I think I'll just play Hazard. The problem is we could wind up in a situation where we can't attack with Hazard next turn, which would be pretty awkward. Like if we draw anything that costs 2 or more, then that's not 2 or more. That's not a land. Well, I guess lands cost less than that. So I guess I'll play Chain Whirler. Guessing he drew the authority that cancels off either a cycle or the draw step. Don't have to worry about Fumigate quite yet. Obviously settle the wreckage. We're going to have to figure out how to play that next turn. Cycling again? Okay. So he must have a few lands in hand. He's got a lot of cards in hand, so it's not a big surprise. Alright, I think here it's probably just fine to attack with just Goblin Chain Whirler. Like we could just be missing lethal, obviously, but it's gonna really make him do something. I guess the other argument would be we're really close to kicking Fight with Fire. So we could just attack with everything, but I don't think we want to do that. Maybe we could get in with the Soulscar Mage as well. But I think it's actually fine to just attack with Chain Whirler here. Make him do something. Alright, he's got cast out. Well, at least it's not hitting Hazard. Plays Lyra, he just dies. I think we'll attack with 2 guys and just launch a mountain up at him. Puts him to 5. Yeah. pass. I don't think I think we want to launch. The only thing is, if he fumigates, he's dead. So I'm not worried about fumigate because he goes up to 8, then we put him down to 6, then kill him. Yeah, so I'm not worried about fumigate. I guess there's things we could draw that. Well, if he fumigates, then we'll pitch a fight with fire instead of the mountain. Yeah, then we're guaranteed to be in okay shape. That way we can play our mountain and pitch something else. Let's see what he wants to drop here. Fairy or Angel's not good enough. Fumigate's not good enough. Okay, it's fine. I think he just dies. No, what there is for 1 mana here. So now we got to pitch one of these fight with fires, just to guarantee that we can attack with Mr. Hazard next turn. Alright, so we got game 2. Let's see if we can do the third one. Any changes that we want to make? Does he actually have Field of Ruin? I mean, he's got to have Field of Ruin, right? I'm pretty sure we saw them. Didn't we see them in game 1? All these blue-white matchups are just blurring together. Yeah, he played a Field of Ruin. So Either Sphere Harvester is especially bad if he's got, you know, a few copies of Authority of the Council's main deck. I mean, the Abrades definitely could come out. Just really worried about. It just really sucks if he's got Gear Hulks. We haven't seen any Gear Hulks though. But it seems like the deck. I mean, it seems like he'd probably be playing him. He's playing the what do you call it? The Hieroglyphic Elimination. Let's do it. Looks like we're gonna win one on the draw here. Great hand. Well, really all it's got going forward is Bomat Courier, but I really like having a Bomat Courier in my opener against control. Ugh, Authority of the Council's turn 1. You're killing me, man. Still gonna play the Bomat Courier turn 1. Land's not a bad draw. I mean, our Glorybringer is obviously a lot worse that Authority of the Council's out. Alright, search for Escanta. Alright, this hand's shaping up okay. Hand's really shaping up. Let's go ahead and attack. Finally got him below starting life total. Doesn't seem to be playing like a lot of counterspells, if any. Have we seen counterspells from him? Is he just like blue-white tap out? But he's not tapping out either. So he's playing a lot of instant speed card draw, but have we seen any counterspells from him? I actually like don't remember him playing a single counterspell. think we'll just attack with Chain Whirler and Soul Scar Mage. We actually don't mind the ramp that much right now. And I want to hold on to my Bowmet Courier for right now. And I guess I'm just going to play Hazard here because, like I said, we haven't really seen counterspells from him, have we? He's got to have counterspells in this deck. Like, who plays blue-white control with no counterspells? But, I mean, Hazard's a bit from being active. Okay, I don't know. Is he not playing counterspells? This plays around Fumigate the best. If he's playing counterspells, he's not playing a lot of counterspells. Has he got a cast out ready to go? No, Illumination. Sure. If we draw a land next turn, we do get to attack with Hazard if he fumigates. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I don't think we want to go to those lengths. I think we'll just make the same attack as last turn and then play Kinra post-combat? Let's see what he does. If he settles the wreckage as us here, we'll definitely... okay, looks like settle the wreckage coming in. Or, yeah, settle the wreckage. Okay, so he's got the card. We're not just totally crazy. We do have Fight with Fire ready to go. I think we'll just play Glorybringer here. Just gets another guy on board. Another big boy on board. We'll probably just start attacking with just Glorybringer. Maybe you can start attacking with Hazard too and not play around another Settle the Wreckage. Because he's at 17, so it might just be kind of that time. Only problem with that is he's at 6 mana now, so we could Gear Hulk to Settle the Wreckage. So he's kind of like more likely to have Settle the Wreckage now. Usually when your opponents use a card, it makes it less likely they have another copy, but in this case he's more likely to have another copy. At least once he's gotten to 6 mana. Okay, he's just dropping a Teferi. So that makes me think he doesn't have another Settle the Wreckage or a Gear Hulk, because he would definitely be doing that. Is he just going to minus on the Hazard, perhaps? That seems pretty poor, though. Okay. Maybe it's a Seal Away? Alright, let's play Kinra. I'm well aware that he is not going to be able to attack this turn. And I think we'll just pitch this Abrade. And we'll just send everything at Mr. Teferi here. Because that will kill him even if he's got a removal spell. And he's at 16 life, so it's just, I don't think worth getting him down likely to 11. The Teferi play seems like somewhat of a desperation play, but he might make this if he's got a Seal Away. Obviously, we're at the point where we're willing to pitch our hand, though Alira is somewhat of a concern. So, if he fumigates, though, then I don't think we have a choice. Though we are at 7 mana. Alright, he's got to flip to Skanta, but it's going to tax his mana pretty hard. He wants to start using that. So we're going to have to decide this next turn if we're playing around Settle the Wreckage or not. Kinner may just be better off being 2 damage. I think we'll just attack with Glorybringer and Earthshaker Kinra here. But man, letting him have a lot of turns with that is pretty rough. But on the other hand, I mean, if he doesn't already have Settle the Wreckage, you just look at 4 cards to find it. On the other hand, we're going to do 6, and then another potentially 10 or 4 from Hazoret for a total of 10. Yeah, I think we'll just attack with these 2. He's going to have to use Settle the Wreckage if he has it. I'm fairly sure. Or if he gets it. I mean, if it's a castaway. Okay, so there we go. It does let us kick Fight with Fire next turn, though. He doesn't seem to have a lot of counter spells. Do we want to pitch this Kinra? Or do we want to play it? I feel like pitching it is going to do just more damage because he gets a life off of it. Yeah, let's just do that. Not sure we're really going to get 2 attacks. Plus, obviously, we get 2. Flash it back if we want to, though it's very slow with Authority of the Councils out. Is he just not playing counterspells? Like, I don't think we've seen a single disallow this entire time. It could be crazy. Yeah, I'm searching through the log, and sure enough, we've not seen a single disallow. It's hard to imagine he's not playing any counterspells, but we just haven't seen any. So it actually may not be crazy just to try to ride this out with the Fight with Fire. It does mean we get less than full usage of our Bomat Courier. It does mean we're not killing him next turn, unless we attack with Hazoret. Which I guess we can. Thinking about like cast out response. Maybe we just like get back. Let's talk with just Bomat Courier. So we're going to use 2 Settle the Wreckages. We didn't see a lot the first couple games. We still have 11 minutes and change, so we got some time to think about this. Maybe we just pitch On-Crop Crasher, attack with Hazoret. And Fight with Fire will be lethal the next turn. Does he really have no counterspells in his deck? Is that really what's happening here? attack with both. I don't think we attack with both. I think I want to attack with just Hazard. Because I don't want the Bomat Courier to get settled the wreckage. Because I don't want to have to pitch my hand right now. Alright, he had a cast out. So that's unfortunate, I guess. But we get to get back our 4/4 next turn and attack with, or this turn and attack with it. So all is not lost. If he has a Fumigate, then this gets a little awkward. Because we don't get to draw the cards off the Bomat Courier. But we have to do this now because it comes into play tap thanks to Authority of the Councils. So just going to have to live at that risk. And I mean, we're not popping it with the Fight with Fire right now anyway. I think a Fumigate's a card he could reasonably have. Doesn't have any Mako looking for it. Looks like he has it. Oh, Teferi. Okay, Teferi's more beatable. Alright, let's go ahead and attack him with the 4/4. Play my land. Not sure why. In case he wants to kill my Bomat Courier in combat or something. I think we'll just go for it if this connects. It's not. So the Gear Hulk. Gear Hulk's gonna draw 2, block this. So then maybe we do 2, 5, 3, put him to 10. Let's play. I can't even see what this stupid thing is. I have to figure out what it is from. This is so hard to do this. Okay, let's have 5 here. 2 to him, 5 to him, and whatever the rest of him because of the stupid targeting reticle. Alright, I guess we'll just draw our cards next turn with Bomat Courier since we can't play anything hasty anyway. We'll get an extra card. Lyra Dawnbringer, okay. Well, I think our work's cut out for us. Let's see if we can draw another Fight with Fire. Not as good as it looks. Alright, so let's just go ahead and attack with Bomat Courier. I think we're just trying to hit, in our 4 cards here, we're trying to hit the Fight with Fire and hope it resolves. I don't think we've got a better chance, so we're not going to play this pre-combat or anything. Also, they put him to 11 anyway. He's got Disallow, he's going to use it right here on this. I would disallow and draw 4 from my opponent. Alright, well, that was not dislow. Or that was not remotely what we needed there. So go ahead and play both of these. But pretty hard to win now. He's getting 2 off of these? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we have basically no chance to win now. Just FYI. Card on bottom. Fight with Fire does no. If he didn't attack, it would kill him, but I think he's gonna attack. So if we draw Fight with Fire, we've got to kill the Angel plus 5 to him, I guess. It's not Fight with Fire. Alright, well. We will try next turn. Cast out. I'm not gonna bother using it. I guess he wants to save it for a Chandra or something. As far as I know, our opponent has 0 counter spells in this deck. We've not seen one at all over the course of any of the games. I think we're just dead now. Well, I guess we could still draw Fight with Fire next turn. And it would possibly be a game. Once it's going to go to 20. You can cast out the Phoenix. So it's really not helping us. Fight with Fire one time. No, we lose. Alright, well, we beat Control 3 times. Couldn't beat the kind of weirder Control deck in the 4th one. I mean, it's definitely metagame to beat Red. He's got main deck Lyra's, Authority of the Councils. I mean, main deck Authority of the Councils seems pretty crazy to me. Because just drawing those against blue-white or something is terrible. Well, I guess you could say the same thing about any number of removal spells. Maybe it's not that bad, but let's see if we can finish this out 4-1 here. Can't always get that trophy, unfortunately. Oops. There's my desktop. Let's see if we can round it out with 5 control matchups. Alright, here we go. Bamboo 09. I would like to play first. What sort of hand do we have? Yeah, it's a keeper. Nothing too special, but it's a keeper. Play our Kari Zev on turn 2. Probably play Chain Whirler on turn 3, but depends somewhat on what they're playing. Alright, looks like we're not up against control. How about that? So an extra reason to... I mean, Kari Zev just puts more power on the board, so that's a big reason to play Kari Zev first. But especially against red. If you can leave these back until they play their Chain Whirler, a little bit better. Let's see what we can draw. All right, we'll attack, and I think we'll just play our Chain Whirler. It's not too likely to play a X1 at this point, so I think sandbagging it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's actually possible we could get some. Well, the number one thing would be if he plays a Pia Nalaar next turn, but I still think I want to play my Chain Whirler right now. Use my mana better because I can do Kinra plus a Braid next turn, and then that's going to set up my Hazoret on the turn after that pretty well. Should be able to play Hazoret. No, I guess not no matter what, but if I draw a land the next two, I got to play Hazoret on turn 5 and attack with them. So it should be pretty good. And if he does play a Pia Nalaar, then we're going to make the token not able to block and attack with everything. Okay. So I think fairly straightforward here. Let's play Kinra. And braid his Goblin. We're going to slam him for 5, 8, down to 8. And he's got a lot of work to do to catch up in this game, because we had a pretty good draw. Like Hazoret's going to be so far from online for him. If we draw a land next turn, especially, like there's worst draw would be like a Silkscar Mage or something, I guess. But even so, he hasn't even started his offense against us. He's only dealt 1 point of damage from his Goblin Chain Whirler. He's going to get us for 3 this turn. Maybe something like a Phoenix or something would be somewhat annoying, but we'd still be able to attack him for 5 at least. Let's see what he's got. A Chain Whirler. Not too bad. Alright, so we do get a drop big Hazy. Now we got to figure out how do we use the shock. Because probably if we don't shock, he's going to block here and trade here and then only take 3. Whereas if we shock the Bomat Courier, he has to block Hazard because either of these other guys take 8. So he's got a chump block. So pretty straightforward. Kill the Bomat Courier here. Swing with the team. And yeah, he's chump blocking and going to 2. You don't want to be at 2 against Hazoret. It's if you take a lesson away from any of these matches, let that be it. Okay, so typically bring in these guys. Do not bring in the cut to ribbons here. Just bring in these. And we'll take out our X1s, because they die to the Chain Whirler, and it's kind of a blowout when they do. And we take out the On-Crop Crashers, because they have a lot of 1-mana removal that kills it. We take out 1 Hazoret, because they kind of get stuck in your hand. And then, I don't think it's crazy to take out a Shock, because they're going to board out their Bomat Couriers. So they're only going to have like Soulscar Mages, like Pia Nalaar. I'm unsure about it. I also sometimes board out like a Lightning Strike. I think you want the Soulscar Mages because they help you kill Hazarets with Chandra or Glorybringer, or just shrink them with the other burn spells. Kills them with Chandra's Defeat as well. So I think I'll just take out like a Shock and a Lightning Strike. Because you do have a lot of removal post board. So I think I'll go with this. Always good to be up a game. That means if we need it, we get another game on the play. Can't remember if we won the die roll here or not. Yeah, we did win the die roll. We won a lot of die rolls this tournament. not a keepable hand here. Alright, this hand's okay. Don't think we need another Phoenix, so they are very good in this matchup. They're not always the best on defense, because if you have to block and trade with them, it makes it not that hard to kill them. It's actually kind of tough, though. It's actually kind of tough. Because we can actually kill Chain Whirlers if he's got them. Which, okay, I guess I'll keep it. That's tough. He's got like a fast hazard draw, they're pretty bad. Against his own Phoenixes, they're sort of bad. I guess I'm going to keep it. I'm really not sure about that, though. Like, if he's just blitzing out a hazard and attacking on turn 5 with it, then that's going to be an issue. So don't want to see a Scrap Heap Scrounger here particularly. It'll start some pressure pretty quick. Okay, I don't mind Soulscar Mage that much. Doesn't do much against our hand as currently constituted. Because any of his burn pretty much is going to kill Phoenix anyway. So I'll take the damage here, and hopefully he plays a Chain Whirler that I get to Abrade. Alright, I'll also Abrade that. Oh, no, this is turn. Oh, no. I guess he must have drawn those cards in like the Soulscar Mage, then the carries F. Alright, well, if he's missing land drops, then the Phoenixes I'm fairly happy with. Maybe I thought I was like a turn off here. He may just 2-for-1 himself to kill one of these Phoenixes, but I'm not that worried about that. Alright, he's missing land drops. That's good news. Let's just drop a Phoenix. Might get like a braided, and then worst case if it's like a braided, and then he goes Chain Whirler on his turn. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I think he's just figuring out which removal spell to use. No. I guess maybe he didn't want to risk. Well, pure speculation, but perhaps he didn't want to risk using the removal spell and not having like the Chain Whirler if that's his only other spell. Oof. He might have a hard time beating all these Phoenixes. Phenai. He may feel compelled to just go for it now if he's got the removal spell. He definitely was thinking, so I think he's got like a Lightning Strike or something. And he was just like calculating whether or not it was worth it to kill it, and then like Chain Whirler the next turn. But he's probably going to have to do it. Okay, Chandra, if he's using Chandra's Defeat, that means his hand's actually pretty removal light. So he's probably got like a bunch of like big stuff, like Phoenixes and Chandras and Glorybringers. So the good news is he's well away from actually getting any of that stuff into play. Because you'd use almost any removal to any other removal before you would use that, because if I drop a Chandra, that's just embarrassing to have used the Chandra's Defeat. Obviously, you could have multiple copies of Chandra's Defeat, and many decks are sideboarding at 3 now. Two's kind of the traditional standard, traditional quote unquote. So it would make sense if he had another copy of this in hand, but I suspect his hand is a bunch of cheap stuff. Okay, he doesn't even have a Chain Whirler. Very interesting. So his hand must just be like a lot of 4-drops and stuff. I don't think Cut's very good in this matchup. So hopefully the Phoenixes just get it done. Like the 4-drops don't bother me all that much here. Like another Phoenix, you know, wouldn't be great. Alright, so that is going to get one of our Phoenixes. Alright, I don't mind drawing a Chandra's Defeat. Let's hold on to my land for right now. Now, the most awkward thing for us if he plays his own Phoenix here. We're going to have to really figure out what to do. Because 2 for 1ing ourselves to do that might run into issues. Because, I mean, we're totally out of anything, and he's got almost certainly a handful of removal. Or not removal, but big boom booms. Alright, but looks like we don't have to worry about that quite yet. So we'll just keep happily attacking with our Phoenix, try to get him as low as possible. At some point, I mean, you know, just continually removing the Phoenix is going to work fine. I'll play our Skyship Raider and pass. Like, any 4-drop except for a Phoenix, I think, is easily beaten here. If he attacks, I'm just not going to block. Like, it's just not really worth it. And I don't think I'm going to attack with Carry Zev here. I just don't really see the upside. Well, yeah, I don't really see the upside. Because he might just have to, like, shoot my Phoenix anyway, in which case he double blocks Carry Zev, and it's just not good for anybody. Does he have another removal spell? I mean, he's not drawn land, so he's drawn something. I'm sure he's got, like, several cards that cost 4 more. Yeah, so it would have been, I guess, not a disaster, but it would have been unfortunate if we attacked the Carry Zev there, I think. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. We do have to close out this. Like, if he draws a land here and plays Chandra, then he gets to kill the Phoenix. And obviously, probably not a lot of draws that result in our us having a Phoenix next turn on his side of the board, because his deck's pretty much going to be land that's going to let him cast some of his 4-drops, removal. So like, we have to hope he draws like a Soulscar Mage or something, I guess. He's already done that twice. So I don't... I mean, I don't know. He could just be playing slowly, but I kind of think he didn't draw removal. Maybe he's thinking about if it's worth... I mean, if you drew a land there and you have Chandra, you just have to do it. Okay. Wow, that is interesting. Didn't expect a land to be drawn, and then for our... Let's see if... No, it survived. Wow. So is this hand all Glorybringers then? I'm very confused. A bunch of Glorybringers would make sense. Well, I think we can safely attack with Carry Zev here, because if he had a piece of removal, then he would have used it on the Phoenix token. And we actually represent lethal here. Very confused what he could have. I mean, does he have 3 Glorybringers in hand? And then even the last 2 cards, it's unclear what that would be. Okay, he must have something here. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So now we have to figure out exactly how we're going to handle this. We can abrade our Phoenix, which I think is the play. Do we worry about saving Kari-Zev or not? I don't think we do, because that would use our last piece of removal. And we got to save that for like a Glorybringer or something. Didn't expect to see this card in his deck. I guess it's like a poor man's Vraska's Contempt. So let's go ahead and abrade our Phoenix here. And then we'll just play Chandra, play our land, and plus. And he does kill our Kari-Zev here, unfortunately. But I don't want to use my Chandra's Defeat on in case he's got a Glorybringer. If we hit a 2-drop here, we probably can't play it. Okay, we can play that though. That's actually fine. It gives us a blocker. Alright, so I think we win if he has a Glorybringer here. Alright, he's got a Glorybringer, so we just win. So we get back our Phoenix and do 2 with Chandra. I don't think there's anything you can do, buddy. Would have been pretty good for him because he would have killed our Phoenix token, and killed our Chandra. But instead he's doing neither of those. Yeah, I could never beat defeat. Yes, GG, sir. Alright, so looks like we're 4-1 in the league. So wouldn't be a victory without opening up these treasure chests to see what we get. Strikes me as nothing good. Yeah, looks like a bunch of garbage. But hey, I'm happy to get 4-1. Beat control 3 times, lost to a slightly strange control deck another time, but good for that guy to be playing something that's metagamed. And then beat black-red at the end. So I think pretty successful run. So thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll see you next time.